both wit and will. And with a total prize pool of over 2 million pesos, also paving the way, the nerve-wracking journey is well worth it. We are proud to be joined by our partners.
Rise above the rest and become the next Quiz Bee Milyonario.
And I'll be
Your next Quiz Bee Milyonario.
Bilyonario Quiz Bee Season 2, College Edition on the Bilyonario News Channel.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Business 360, your complete view of the stories driving business, markets, and the economy. I'm Apa Ongpin, and this is the Bilyonario News Channel. Semirara Mining is challenging the Energy Department before the courts on demands to disclose what it calls proprietary mine data. The National Bureau of Investigation pushes back against accusations that its probe into the 2019 SEA Games is politically motivated, as others question the timing. The Philippines is moving towards a membership in the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. We bring in British Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines Executive Vice Chairman Chris Nelson. And Asian markets suffer a bloodbath on the chip sell-off. Semirara Mining is going to court to block the Energy Department's demand for its mine data. Jillian Geronimo has that and other corporate stories.
Semirara Mining and Power Corporation has sought court protection against the Department of Energy's demands for what the company calls proprietary mine data. SMPC warns that sharing its technical information with rival bidders could threaten operations at the country's largest coal mine and put the nation's power supply at risk. In a petition filed before a Makati court, SMPC challenged the DOE's repeated requests made through 4 separate letters for a comprehensive asset inventory, geological information, and technical specifications for the Semirara mine. The DOE is seeking Semirara's asset and technical information as the government prepares to bid out the coal blocks after the company's contract expires in 2027. The data is expected to help guide the bidding process and assess future operators. But SMPC says the assets remain under its ownership, citing its coal operating contract and Presidential Decree 972 or the Coal Development Act. It argues the information should not be given to competing bidders or included in their bid submissions. According to the petition, the government may only assume ownership if SMPC fails to remove the assets within 1 year after the contract expires. The company also raised safety concerns, saying the requested data includes specifications for pumps managing what it describes as river strength water inflow at its Acacia mine. SMPC warned that if pumping stops, the pit could flood, and by the company's estimate, roughly half of the island's recoverable coal reserves would be lost. The listed firm clarified the case is not meant to delay the bidding, saying it remains committed to joining the auction and that mining operations continue as normal until July 2027. The DOE has yet to publicly respond to the petition. Prime Energy has completed maintenance work at the Malampaya Gas Project, restoring gas production after a month-long shutdown. The facility resumed gas delivery on July 15 after upgrades at its Palawan and Batangas operation. The maintenance prepared Malampaya for new wells expected to start producing gas in the fourth quarter of 2026. The new wells are expected to extend the project's productive life by up to 6 years. Malampaya has been a major source of indigenous gas for Luzon power plants for more than 2 decades. 6 directors of Manila Electric Company, among them Manuel V. Pangilinan and Lance Gokongwei, have received Meralco shares worth a combined 16.95 million pesos. Separate disclosures showed Pangilinan, Gokongwei, Ray Espinosa, Lydia Echauz, Patrick Henrigo, and Victorio Vargas each received 5,000 Meralco shares on July 13. Each grant was valued at around 2.82 million pesos, based on share prices ranging from 562 pesos to 571 pesos and 50 centavos apiece. The 6 directors received a total of 30,000 shares. The filing stated the shares were acquired through a stock grant, indicating they were given as incentives rather than bought on the open market. Insiders at Jollibee Foods are again moving in opposite directions in the stock market. Hyperdynamic Corporation, an affiliate of Jollibee founder Tony Tan Kak Chong, bought more than 208,000 JFC shares on July 16, worth about 31.15 million pesos. On the same day, Director Antonio Chua Poing, Tan Kak Chong's brother-in-law, sold 135,000 shares through Honeyworth Corporation, worth about 20.19 million pesos. So far in July, Po has sold shares worth roughly 73 million pesos, while Hyperdynamic has bought about 71.6 million pesos worth. The operator of 7-Eleven says rising inflation and slower economic growth could weigh on consumer spending, even as its own sales keep climbing. Philippine 7 Chairman Victor Paterno called the government's revised economic outlook a matter of concern, though he said the company has yet to feel any significant impact on its business. Economic managers have lowered the 2026 growth target to between 3.5 and 4.5%, while raising the inflation forecast to a range of 6 to 7%. Paterno said inflation doesn't hit all retailers equally. Sellers of packaged goods, he said, can more easily pass higher costs to consumers and may even benefit when suppliers raise prices. He added, tougher economic conditions may have pushed consumers toward more affordable options, benefiting convenience stores. For Business 360, Jillian Geronimo, Billionaire News Channel.
The Philippine Stock Exchange Index rode against the chip sell-off, hurting global markets. The PSEI closed strong today by over 1%, with property and holding firms gaining more than 2%. Ayala and Ayala Land each got a boost of more than 5%. Ayala purchased more than 2.5 million Ayala Land common shares today at an average price of around 16 pesos per share. Globe also finished strong by nearly 3%. First it was the Kospi, now it's most Asian stocks suffering sharp losses on the chip sell-off. Japan's Nikkei 225 dropped more than 4%. China's Shanghai Composite over 3%. And Taiwan's TAIEX, the biggest loser, down 6.5%. The Kospi was closed today on holiday. Investors were spooked after the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company said it would pour another $100 billion into its chip plants in Arizona and raised its spending plans for the year. Investors are worried that all that spending will eat into margins. They also shrugged off a 77% jump in profits. Wall Street stocks plummeted on the chip sell-off. All major indexes fell, with the tech-heavy Nasdaq down nearly 1.5%. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company had sparked the sell-off, although other memory chip makers also lagged. More stories when we return. Business 360. We'll be right back.